Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie. This is my Crafty Dan, and I'm going to work on another page in my art journal. So I'm going to just go to the next empty page. And in my stash, I found this, and I had cut it out from, I don't even know what I cut it out from. It may have been a card, it may have been out of a book, a magazine. I'm not exactly sure, but it says, "From earth to sea to sky, may you learn to grow, to swim, to fly." So I thought I would use this sentiment and the Summer Stories and Backgrounds from the Mary Me's illustration Collage and Ephemera book. And I thought I would use this page. I've gone through here and just found a couple, and I'm just going to tear them out. So I thought I'd use this page and the bottom of this page as well, but I don't need the whole page. I'm going to keep some of this because it's just so pretty. And I want this because it's got the sea and the sky. I might not use that, but I do have some florals in here, I think, that I was going to use for something else that I started. And I haven't cut these. I've just torn them. So I have some earth, sea, and sky, and yeah, the pink flowers blend in fairly nice with this. I want to add, I'm not going to use the whole thing. I want to kind of collage this page. I want some text to show. So maybe a little bit of this. I like this text here that's just showing a little bit of this maybe to go down at the bottom. And I'm tearing it all this time. I'm not cutting. I'll cut my final image, maybe fussy cut it for the top, but I'm just going to start Mod Podging this down. So I've just got my regular matte Mod Podge. This is just a water-based glue in case there's anybody out there that doesn't use this anymore. I'm gonna grab my, I'm gonna grab this to put down behind it because I don't want to glue my pages together. I've done that before. I think I'm gonna start at the bottom here. And I'm just going to try to create a page out of a couple of different pages, out of some, I'm going to move this over here like that. There, I'm going to put that down at the bottom. I'm going to tear I don't want this kind of white. I want that little bit of white edge, so I'm tearing up. If I didn't want that white edge, I would tear down. I'm going to grab a ruler and put my page to the edge. And then just tear here. Just tear it. Yeah. And then do I want this to go underneath here? I probably do. So I might want to take a little bit of that flower right there off. Now this time, I'm not necessarily going for that big wide white edge. But I'm going for this whole jaggedy business like that. So I am going to put this down here and go across like this. Like that. This isn't glued down here. I didn't go all the way up because I want to slide this one down like this. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to tear a little bit of a straight edge there. So that I can slide that underneath. Like that. So I've kind of put together my own grouping of pages. This, of course, is the bottom of this, and then this is across the middle. But I couldn't just leave it together and glue it down like that page because, of course, I wasn't going to get what I wanted if I did it that way. So let's roll this back. I don't like spending a lot of time on my journal page, but I do like doing them because I like having fun putting together my journal page, or the page opposite. I guess this is actually the page opposite my journal page because I write over there. There. So that's kind of my jumping off point. I want some of this doily on here. I don't know why. I just feel like it. I have a little bit of homemade paper here as well. I'm going to try to tear there. I didn't want that doily to just look like a big half of a doily. So I have the lacy part of it showing, and then that bit of handmade paper covering the center of it. I think this is where I'm going to put my sentiment over here. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for a few minutes. And I want a fairy. Okay, so while this was setting up a little bit, I managed to cut her out of the same book. Now she matches the pink tones. There's a little bit of blue water down here. Could be waves brushing up past the flowers. But I'm going to put her down here because this is less about having a focal image, I think, than the whole picture. A lot of times, like when you have a picture of scenery, you don't necessarily have a distinct focal point, but you do have that whole picture that is just nice to look at. So that's what I'm kind of going for here. Less of a focal point, more of a whole overall piece of art, I guess. I call it art. It's just me crafting. Now I did cut this out, and she was on a white background page, and I used my little knife, this one. So somebody asked me what this tool was, and it's a pen knife. And it's just like a pen so that you can pop that blade in, but the blade is really tiny. It's nothing special. You can get a half a dozen of them for under $10 off of Amazon. And I buy them, they're cheap. Once the blade starts to dull, I just toss them and get another one. But I used that to cut out the arms because I didn't just want white behind where her arms were here. Yeah. So there's my overall picture. I'm going to work on it a little bit, play with it, of course. I'm going to give this a quick dry, and I'm going to give it a coat of gesso. So this has got Mod Podge down all over top of everything, and then to make it matte and smooth as I can get it, I have taken the clear gesso. This is the Art Basics from Finnabair. This stuff just dries smooth, clear. It's just as smooth as satin. It is so nice on there. So I'm going to take some stamps now that I have. This one's got some music notes, a little bit of script here, some just some labels, some stuff on it. And this one is just some dots and some script and some little bits of stuff. Okay, so I think it goes this way. So I'm just going to use my archival ink. And I'm not going to do a lot of stamping on here. Like, I'm really not. I'm just going to put a little ink in this corner and put a little script there. Just a little bit like that. Some from here. Like that. It's a little different than that. And I'm going to go around my page adding just some little bits. That was a good one. Now let's see what I can do here. I got that. Here, let's do one that's a little bit bolder right over, just a little bit right there. I'm going to switch stamps. And I'm going to do a little bit of this music note right here, just a touch. You can barely see it, just a little bit, and there. Here's a little printing. We're going to put a little bit of this there. in there. And over here like that. So some stamping. So this is overall starting to look like one big page that came out of the book, but it wasn't in there like this. There's other elements now. So I have this. You can't see very well what it is. It came in a subscription box. It's just a big dragonfly. And I think my big dragonfly is going to be printed right, maybe off the page a little wee bit, but right down here. There. Now I'm going to give this a quick dry because I want this ink to be dry before I do anything else. Because I'm going to take some, let me see, what am I going to take? I'm going to take some brown watercolor paint pencil. This one's from Staedtler. And I need a little bit of water. And I'm going to take the smallest little brush I've got here. And I'm going to go around my fairy. Let's get rid of that and let's do this so I can concentrate on what I'm doing. I need a little bit. I need a little bit around this wing here because you can't see it very well. So it's kind of a reddish brown. It doesn't say what color it is, but it's just the only brown that I had in my watercolor pencils, and I just wanted to use a pencil. And I'm just kind of putting it on here and letting it puddle, and then I'm pushing it towards the fairy where the paper's trimmed out. And then I'm going to get some water on my brush and tone it down a little bit. Water it down. And then I'm just going to fan out a little bit here and soften that edge. So because I've got that gesso on there, any place where I get the paint that I don't want it, I can just take it back off again. So I've kind of got a dark background around her. She's in this reddish brown cloud. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to take my, I have a little Distress ink in the walnut stain. I'm going to go around my page with that. And I'm putting it directly on instead of on a blending tool. And then I'm going to take this brush because it's a little bit stiffer. I'm going to get some of this ink and brush this edge. It's not the normal way to do it, but I kind of want my outline to go all the way around. So this is going to be messy. But at least my dark line goes around my edge now. Let's get this in water right away so that that washes off of there. I don't want it to ruin my paintbrush. And then let's take these and glue them on. From earth to sea to sky. Should I put this one on this side? May you learn to grow, to swim, to fly. And everybody knows by now that I'm going to go around my words with black. And on this one, I think I'm going to do some white splatter to brighten it up. So I'm going to grab my pre-mixed paint here. This is just a watered down acrylic craft paint so that I can add a little paint to my fan brush. And lots of splatter because I just think this one needs it. So there's my journal page. Just giving you a closer look. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I'm actually going to sit here and do a little bit of writing now, but it's my journal. I don't share that part of it. Yeah, I'm happy with the way that this page turned out. If you are and you like it as well and you enjoy this type of video, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, comment, do all the things. I'll see everyone in the next video. Until then, bye-bye for now, everyone. Have a really wonderful day.